Hey, what's up, guys? Today I'm going to be bringing you some more information about the North Korean topic. Definitely received a lot of positive feedback from my last video, and I actually didn't intend on making this video, but with the latest nuclear test, I realized that I needed to because it's pretty big news, and I know a lot of people will find it scary and interesting at the same time. Um, if you haven't seen my last video, I definitely recommend that you see that. So you sort of know the background, some of the background information going into this video. So with that, I would like to go on to the news. So like I said, the latest nuclear test was North Korea's third. Its first was in 2006, second was in 2009, and the third was 2013. And this event was actually seen as sort of a action that would bring world attention, especially during a very, very important time in North Korean history. Kim Jong-il's birthday is on February 16th, so they definitely want to have as much world attention as they possibly can within this time frame. This was also seen as an act of defiance against UN Security Council resolutions that have been imposed on the nation itself, sanctions that have been in place to sort of stop any further North Korean development of military and anything along those same lines. Of course, they just say that it's an act of self-defense against the U.S. hostility, which is really, really a bunch of bullshit. To be perfectly honest, UN nations and many organizations within the U.S. give it lots and lots of food. In fact, 1/3 of children within North Korea are malnourished. So there's definitely a corrupt problem in the nation itself, if you didn't already know that. And it's really a sad situation. In fact, we actually give them most of their food anyway, and that's actually how we end up talking peacefully with them at times. They'll trade bargaining and basically any political improvements that we see for food and monetary gains that we give them. And another important thing I'd like to note in this topic is that not only are the actions of North Korea being condemned by the U.S. and UN nations, but also China. China is very shocking because it has long been the biggest and the most supportive ally of North Korea, and it's definitely very shocking. But let me explain why. So basically, like I said, it's a huge nation, one of the most supportive, and the actions have been seen as sort of an embarrassment to China, because it shows how limited their influence has become in recent years on that nation. So China's trying to step up to the plate and say, "Hey, we don't want you doing this, Kim Jong-un." I mean, they need to draw a line at some point, and that's what they're trying to do at this point. I would also like to talk about the bomb, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So the bomb has actually been noted to be lighter and smaller than in past years. They still think that it's using plutonium as its main element, which I might note is suitable for a warhead, which is pretty scary. Now for the testing, if many of you may not know that they actually test underground because North Korea is so small. They can't really take it out to a place like Siberia and Russia and blow up a bunch of areas. They have to take it underground to do its testing. Therefore, other nations are able to see their testing through earthquake monitoring technology. So this last test was basically 2 times that of the 2009 one, and it was actually registered at a 5.1 on the Richter scale, which is actually very, very strong for being an artificial earthquake, which is scary. And to give you some numbers, the 2006 one was 1 kiloton, The 2009 was 2 to 7 kilotons, both of which were deemed puny by the global community. But still, in 2013, they say it was several kilotons, not giving specific numbers. Probably between 4 to 14, maybe even more. But to give you some better perspective, 20 kilotons was measured in the Nagasaki bomb that was used in World War II by the Americans. So if they get to that point, that is actually pretty scary, as we've seen through the results of the Nagasaki bomb. I would also like to point out that the U.S. Government isn't sure whether they're using uranium or not. If they're using uranium, that might mean that they're more advanced, or it definitely means that they're more advanced, but that means that they have a huge potential of doing a lot more damage, which is scary. Many of you may be wondering how we actually decide or figure out what kind of material is being used, and to that I would like to say that we use specific aircrafts that can help us identify this, specifically the WC-135 Constant Phoenix Sniffer aircraft, and basically we fly over and then get a little reading. But the hugest thing is that it's important that we get these into the air ASAP, because uranium decays much more quickly than plutonium does. In fact, it actually can decay within a matter of days to a level that's undetectable by the aircraft. So it's definitely important that if we want to know what they're using, we get those in the air ASAP. Of course, North Korea doing a pretty successful nuclear test. They trumpeted this to their brainwashed nation, obviously giving them more patriotism and nationalism to rally around. This is definitely scary. Speaking that this especially being that it has been after a couple of ballistic long-range missile testings that have been conducted within the past couple of years. Of course, the U.S. believes all of this is intended to make an intercontinental nuclear warhead, which North Korea responds with by saying that all of this is to put satellites into space, which is complete bullshit. I mean, North Korea, if you're listening, you are fucking retarded. I mean, how stupid do you think Americans are? I mean, we may not be the brightest, but I'm saying, please come up with a better excuse. But with that, I would like to say that, of course, they want to do more testing, and of course, more testing will be brought with more sanctions from the UN Security Council, which is sort of a cyclical effect. But of course, North Korea is pretty much just like, YOLO, I do not care anymore. There's enough on them anyway. So they obviously do not care. And of course, China is going to continue to resist this, especially because they'll see a huge flood of refugees if there are more sanctions, because more sanctions will actually lead to a worser economy for South Koreans. So China is definitely not liking this situation at all. More interesting is there's a lot of political transition going on within the Asian countries, Japan, China, and North Korea, all of which are exchanging leaders. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on Asia. But with that, I would like to ask, what is your opinion on this topic? What else do you guys want me to cover? What kind of news do you want me to cover? Tell me if I'm doing a good job. Give me some constructive criticism. If you haven't subbed, sub. If you like this video, like it. Share it with your friends. They might find it interesting. But with that, I would like to say thank you guys. And I wish you guys a great day, evening, morning, whatever.